Okay, so we are talking over the next 2 days about designing our lives, like really structuring a lifestyle that can support us in achieving and being able to fulfill how we want to live. So my first question is what do we have to do politically that supports being able to have the lifestyle that we see for our future?
Well, the first thing I would say is not all of the answers are going to come from politics. I'm actually barely a politician. I've been one for 5 months now. Before I get into politics, when I was just hearing you talk about structuring a life, right? You know, one of the things that has been such a blessing for me, and I have been given the chance to live the true American dream, right? My parents came to this country 40 years ago with literally no money. I've gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies, doing it while getting married, raising 2 sons. My wife has lived her own version of the American dream. She's a successful academic surgeon, a throat surgeon at Ohio State. This country has given us much. And so for me, one of the things when I think about structuring my life that allows me to have the foundation to do this is you don't have to do everything at once, I've found, but maybe there's different stages in which we take on different pursuits. So I had the stage of my life where I got out when I was 22 years old from college. My dad had, I think we didn't grow up in great wealth, had gone through layoffs at GE under Jack Welch. I wanted to make it in the system of free market capitalism in America. And so I went out, joined a hedge fund, left that, became an entrepreneur, built a big business. But I said, okay, this phase of my life is now over. I'm moving on to a new phase of my life. Same year that our first son was born, it changed my perspective. That's when I started writing my books, observing some of the threats to the American dream that I had lived. And so that was a phase of my life where I loved having no plan, not running for office, not doing for a business reason, just speaking my mind openly. And then that led me to the doorstep of saying, okay, how do I take these views and actually drive change in the world with that? That led me to the doorstep of saying, you know what? We're in the middle of a national identity crisis. We've lost self-confidence in this country, especially my generation. I'm 37. I'm the youngest person ever to run for president, certainly as a Republican. I appreciate that. And there's this loss of national self-confidence in my generation, so that's going to give me the foundation to take the next leap. And so I know that, I could talk about politics, but when I heard about structuring a life, for me, that was one of my reflections is each step that I took gave me the foundation to take that next leap. And the first foundation actually started with the ultimate privilege that I actually had. Right? We use this word a lot nowadays in different ways. I don't love it, the way it's bandied around. But I actually, in some deep sense, did have the ultimate privilege, which was my mom and dad both in the house with a focus on education and a focus on, faith was a big part of our upbringing too. That's a privilege that I hope that many kids across this country are given the chance to enjoy as well. So to bring it back to politics, what can politics do here? It can at least get the government out of the way of standing in the way of giving kids that actual ultimate privilege.
Yeah.
And then ensure that no matter who you are or where your parents came from or what your skin color is or how long your last name is, in my case, it's the truth. You can achieve anything you want in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, that you're free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That's the American dream, and that's what the government can help us restore for every kid in this country.